like never come in.
No, they never come through.
What's really good, my people? Welcome into No Catch Up Chicago, for Chicago, by Chicago. I am your host, Sean Little. Nick the Quick, of course.
What's going on?
In the building.
Yes,
Our
sir.
guy, Aaron, running the show.
Victory Tuesday.
Victory Tuesday.
Victory
For
Tuesday.
some of us.
For some of us.
We got it.
Some of us are getting spicy on Sunday night via group text. I just want to go ahead. We'll talk about this.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this because I was actually kind of hot on Sunday.
Spicy, bro, for no reason.
Listen, the Bulls got Melo. Not really.
Not really.
We're going to talk about that.
Some cash relief.
Some cash relief
Sorry.
for Houston. The Bears have some more Pro Bowlers. We're going to quickly touch on that because the Pro Bowl is a sham, and I would never advocate our big-time players going. I just hope nobody gets hurt.
Yeah.
Pro Bowl, we'll talk about that for a quick second. Super Bowl, is it 53?
Yeah, I think it's 53.
I think it's 53. Super Bowl 53, Atlanta, Georgia.
In the A.
The Patriots are back, and they're playing the Rams. We're going to talk about that for probably half an hour.
Yeah.
No lie. And then we're going to close it with some NBA chatter.
Yeah.
What's good with you?
Man, not too much, man. Had a decent little Sunday watching these games. I actually had a great couple of days, man. I took off work this weekend and just kicked it. I think I watched sports for 48 straight hours. Like there was like 150 college basketball games on Saturday, and then Sunday woke up, watched two of the best playoff games I think I've ever seen in my entire life. It was great. Snowed in, you know what I'm saying, but it was perfect, man. Had a bunch of food. Some liquor at the crib, just kind of took it easy, man. How about you?
Yeah.
That's how my boy Tom delivered on Sunday night.
Yeah, it was very similar to that. It's if you're listening or watching and you're not in Chicago, it's brick right now.
Yeah.
And it's been brick for like a week now.
If you're listening or watching, you're not in Chicago, let us know how you found us unless you know us personally.
Facts.
That's dope.
Yo, I talked to this dude in the comments recently the other day that was from we were talking about that Steven Adams stuff a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
He was in New Zealand and he's like, I watch every week.
Is he from Chicago?
He just
found us?
He found us, and he rocks in New Zealand.
Yo, shout out New Zealand. Shout out my man out in New Zealand,
I need to go find his name.
I want to get out there, man. Maybe we should take a trip out to New Zealand. Go catch up New Zealand, man.
I need to find his name, but yeah, he's out in New Zealand.
Shout
he
out
watches
New Zealand,
every
man.
week.
We got international people.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, you know how it is. You know I don't talk about the weather, but it's been cold. And it's just been time to kick it.
Hold up. Let's touch on that real quick because people are out here tripping. No, I'm actually on the same approach as you. People are out here tripping about the weather, and it's like this has been nothing, man. This is nothing. It's a little bit of snow. It's a little bit of cold. I've seen way worse in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Like people are like, "Oh, should we close the stores for my work?" I'm like, "Y'all need to calm down."
Yeah.
Like calm down. This is just some snow.
This is just.
And I hate winter more than anybody in the world. Like don't get it twisted. I hate winter more than anybody in the world, but this is nothing, man. It's just a little ice, a little snow, a little cold. It didn't come till January. It was warm in December. Christmas was 55 degrees, so just take it as it is, man. This is where we're at. Stop complaining.
100%. Just rock with it. It is what it is, and it's been pretty mild.
It's 32 degrees right now. Yeah,
so,
we're good. I'll take it.
But yeah, it was interesting. Interesting weekend. I just kicked it for the most part. Yeah, Sunday was awesome.
Yeah. It was great.
We're gonna get into all that because that was probably the best two games I've seen in a minute on the championship side, back to back like that. No doubt. For both games to go into overtime, all that.
Real quick, what do you think the odds were that both of those games went into overtime?
I actually said that when I was watching. It had to be, I don't know, dude, 20-1,
85-1,
85-1. Yeah. I thought it'd be higher than that.
Yeah.
You couldn't get me to take that for 85-1. I'd need a couple hundred to one.
Maybe for $1.
For both games to go?
Yeah.
Come on, dog. You know what had to happen for that Patriots game to go to overtime? Like, yeah, no, that's
I'm
crazy.
sure the's people who chase bets like that, though. They just put small
of course,
amount of money on crazy
$10,
shit. Yeah, $10 pays you $8.50. Yes, I mean.
Speaking of that, I bumped into this dude on the street. I don't even know how this came up. It was at 7-Eleven. This dude was talking about how he plays.
Where you meet the people.
How he plays craps, and we started talking about playing craps, and he was talking about how he only bets. he only bets this. He takes the middle bet where you bet that you'll hit every number before you crap.
Yeah.
So like 1 through 12.
Yeah.
Before you crap, and it's like 175 to 1 or something like that. And we were laughing about that. And I was like, "Yo, you're a degenerate. Like you should. That should never hit,
bro. If you can figure out the odds, there's a way you can make that profitable for you. Like there's people who
because then you can start hedging out once all the other numbers have been hit.
Exactly.
I mean,
say if I bet X amount of dollars and like before I hit this number, I think there's ways you can figure it out, but. You are a degenerate if you're sitting around doing shit like that, 100%. Speaking of crap, shout out J Money if he's watching.
Justin's definitely watching.
I went to J Money. I went to Vegas with J Money, and he had a rough last night at the craps table, man. So shout out J Money for that one. That was the funniest shit I've ever seen. But yeah, shout out J Money, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's talk about this Melo to the Bulls kind of deal.
Yeah.
Why do we feel the need to help out everybody but ourselves? Like, I don't get it. That was, like, kind of what okay, there's money. We get a little bit of money. But, like, we're helping them out. And I don't know if I wouldn't say a major way, but we're relieving them a roster spot. I just don't like what's in it for us.
They actually didn't get the roster spot benefit out of it because remember they had that guy, and since the league office was closed on, did you read this? The league office was closed on Monday.
Yeah.
So they wanted to play Kenneth Faried in their game because they had just signed him.
Yeah, I watched the game.
So they ended up having to drop a player that they actually wanted to keep because it would have messed with his. So you have a certain amount of days if you're on like those 2-way contracts. Or something like that. So
certain days you got to be up. Certain days
so
you
they
got
had
to
to
be
end up
down.
dropping him because the league office couldn't approve this trade until today because of King Day yesterday. But
it was closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, the league office was closed. Yeah,
and so they were like,
crazy.
so players and execs and coaches got to work, but there's nobody in the office who can say, yeah, this trade is good, which I thought was funny. But yeah.
Word. Okay. Yeah, no doubt.
But either way, yeah, I see where you're getting at on that.
Yeah, it's just a classic Bulls move. It's like the whole league knows, like, yo, when you need some stuff done with something that has to do with some cash, call up the Bulls and they'll take care of you.
I mean, I can't look. Here's the thing, man. Like it's stupid and it makes us look bad and it 100% feeds into the narrative and everything that we talk about every week. But I can't be mad at them for making a business deal at this point. Like, you know what I mean? This is what they're gonna do. No, I hope no one's surprised. You know what I mean? I hope there's no one out there that people were texting me actually like, oh, you see we got Melo? I'm like, yo, Carmelo Anthony will never suit up in a Bulls uniform. He didn't even come to Chicago. He didn't even look at the weather. Like he did not come out here. He is wherever he is. Like you will not see Melo again until February. Like that's a fact, right? So he wasn't ever going to come here to play. First of all, second, man, look, they made a deal. They made a business move. Jerry Reinsdorf has shown you time and time again he's in the business of getting cash over players, over assets, right? You know what I'm saying? He traded a second-round pick for $3 million, then turned around and signed a guy for the White Sox for $3 million, right? Manny Machado's a free agent. Bryce Harper's a free agent. He wants to sign those guys. Like I said it as a joke when it first happened, but that's 100% what it is, man. He's running a business. He's running a business. If you think the Bulls are out here doing it for the fans or doing it out here to, like, you know, spread goodwill and stuff like that, like, no, Reinsdorf has shown you time and time again he's 100% running a business with this team. So if he has an opportunity to get some cash from Houston by taking Melo's contract, dumping it off, he's 100% going to do that. And to be honest with you, it might be like the smartest move the Bulls have made all year, which is funny. You know what I mean? Because all we've been doing all year is stupid shit that doesn't make sense and doesn't move us towards the future. At least you can argue a good, valid reason for why you would make a deal for cash, right? As opposed to some of the other moves that they've made this year. So, the Bulls are in that Tyson zone that we talked about. Any story, whatever it is, man, it's not going to move me. It is what it is, man. As I sit here in a Bulls hat. You know what I mean? It just is what it is, man. It is what it is. Like, what else? You know, like, every week, every day.
You know what I was thinking about?
Bulls Twitter is also the best thing going right now.
It's a lot of laughs.
It's a lot of laughs.
It's a lot of laughs
that are true. You know what I mean?
You know what?
Manny Machado money.
You know what I was thinking about too? Is
how much cash was it? Do we know?
No, I haven't seen the number.
Yeah.
I think we're having a little technical difficulties with the internet, so I know everyone can hear us, but the stream is kind of locked in. We're gonna work on getting that fixed, but keep rocking.
Yeah.
The thing about I was thinking about this. It's like, yo, the Bulls are a laughingstock, right? And if we're going to keep it 100, we're all the way like the end of the Jordan era, right? We're like, what, 10, 11 when they win their last championship?
Yeah.
Like 11 years old, right?
Yeah. I was 12.
Outside of like the new era, like the new era Bulls fan, like how do they see the Bulls? Like I think we still see the Bulls as a super prominent MJ, 6 rings. Everyone should want to come here. Do little guys that are 13 or 14 think like that?
I think
or
do
do they see the year that D Rose won MVP, or they see that? Yeah. But it's only been 2 years, 3 years we've been solid?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. We've had stretches of being solid. That's what they do. Again, they're running a business. They get it. You have a few years of being solid. You hype up the team. You hype up the characters on the team. You get everybody to fall in love with that team. You sell a whole bunch of season tickets. And then when you suck again for a few years, nobody really matters. So I think they were able, out of that D Rose era, and even before that, even out of like the Ben Gordon Heinrich era where they were making the playoffs, the Bulls' biggest thing was their playoff streak, right? What was it, like 8 or 9 straight years and being in the playoffs? That was the biggest thing that they always sold to the fan base. So you probably had a lot of fans that were born in that era that haven't seen a truly bad Bulls team, right? Like they've only been really bad a couple times. Like they were really bad after Jordan, and they were bad enough to get D Rose that year. And even that year they won 40 games, I want to say. We just got D Rose with a 0.8% chance again the lotto. So it's not like we've ever been truthfully bad outside of these last couple of years. We're not the Orlando Magic, you know what I mean? We're not some team that the Sacramento Kings where it's like, yo, every year we're in the lottery and we're terrible. Right. It's just for us, it's probably harder for us because we have that expectation and we remember this franchise being great. You know what I mean? Whereas if you're just a regular fan that doesn't necessarily remember that, you're like, hey, it's a down couple of years, but we're rebuilding. Whereas like, no, we're hoops fans. We're watching what's happening. You know what I mean? We're seeing that we don't like the direction that it's going. It goes back to when we first started talking about this rebuild. Are these the guys that we trust to do it? And no, it's not, you know? Like I have no problem rebuilding. I have a problem with these guys being the one that are doing the rebuilding. And it's 100% coming to fruition. I said it 2 years ago, like the first episode we ever did on this. This is where we're going to be. And these
legit, back to the first episode we ever had, we've been talking. It's been the same narrative about the Bulls the whole way.
Remember we said, which rebuild do you believe in more, the Bears or the Bulls?
Yeah, correct.
That was the first episode we did. And I said, the Bears will see because the jury's still out on pace.
Yeah.
Bulls, strap in.
Strap in.
And it's been that way since. It's been that way since. And even out of this, it's like, yeah, you know, we like Lauri Markkanen and we like Wendell Carter, but those aren't franchise cornerstones. So now we have 2 lottery picks where you drafted players who will probably be good around other good players, but aren't good enough to carry your franchise. And also given $100 million. Why are we even doing this? Giving $100 million to this guard, but you don't have anything. You have nothing to show for it. You know, you look at those Sixers teams. They had Embiid and Simmons to show for it. Even when Embiid wasn't playing, you had the hope of Embiid, and you could sell that to your fans base. Then you got Simmons, and they whiffed on a bunch of picks too. They whiffed on Folks. They whiffed on Michael Carter-Williams. They whiffed on Nerlens Noel, but they still had things you could sell to your fans.
Yeah, because
the other moves you were making worked. But what do we have? You can't sell me on Lauri Markkanen, and you can't sell me on Wendell Carter that forming a playoff roster, or the beginnings of a playoff roster, I should say. They need a key piece. You need a number one. You know, is Lauri Markkanen a number one? I don't think so. And maybe the jury's still out again because he was hurt for most of the year. I just don't know. I don't even know if what I see with this game. I don't know if he's I don't know if I see him being a number one player. Could he be a good number 2 or 3? Absolutely.
I want to talk about that actually because people are talking about Lauri stagnant, this, that, and the third. He doesn't. He's still a young hooper
for sure
that doesn't have any type of coaching around him.
Yeah,
especially on the offensive end, which we're looking for him to do, which is his specialty.
Right.
That can lock him in and teach him and have him grow. That's what he needs, and he does not have that with this staff whatsoever.
Definitely.
Period.
Definitely.
So,
he's in a bad situation.
He's in a bad situation.
For a player like him, he's about in the worst situation you could possibly be.
And the NBA, if you like it or not, I know everyone wants to come down on players and this, that, and the third.
Situations, baby.
Man, if you're in a bad situation, it could not be all your fault.
We see it all the time. Look at D'Angelo Russell in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
He gets out of L.A., which was a bad situation, and Brooklyn is balling. Nightly. If you don't watch the Brooklyn, like I was talking to Eder about this, Brooklyn Nets are like my favorite League Pass team right now.
Really?
Love them. They're
Yeah,
great.
I know D'Angelo's got like 4 30-point games this year.
Spencer Dinwiddie is a problem. They got this dude, Jared Allen, major problem. Like, they got problems on their roster. Like, if you
Dinwiddie's been a problem.
Dinwiddie is nice. He's a closer. Like, he was
in our system.
We had him in the system.
We moved him.
No, we probably moved him for some campaign was the point guard of the future. Remember? Fuck out of here. So I mean, and it all comes back to that. Like, just bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. But I agree with you on Lauri. I'm not out on Lauri at all. I never thought that he's a 1A though, in my opinion. You know, he just doesn't. I think it has to, like, for that type of player, like that Nowitzki, and I know that's like his comp. You know, it has to be a Nowitzki type situation for him, which was like a once in a lifetime scenario for that type of player. Bring me Zion, whatever.
That was the next. That's the next.
But we won't get him. Cleveland will get him.
We have a 14. I think it's like 14.7% chance. That's the new structure. The bottom 4 teams all get 14%. That didn't make me feel that great.
No.
That doesn't warm my heart that much.
Oh yeah, it's all even now, right?
It's all even now, right?
Yeah.
So if we go, so
we could have 4.
So we could have this happen where we go through all this bullshit with Boylan and et cetera, and we're kind of putting all our eggs in the basket hoping for Zion. I think that's the only light we have at the end of the tunnel. Maybe R.J. Barrett as well, but it's still like,
I think after Zion it gets
they're not going to be all that great.
Yeah, like Zion is like, okay, like we can figure something out with that, and then at least it brings excitement and everything like that. But I think after Zion, it's kind of like, yeah, now you're forcing guard packs to make a decision.
Yeah,
they've drafted well in certain situations, not necessarily lottery picks. We all remember Doug McDermott, but
they love Doug.
Loved him. Traded away. Did they trade away like Jurkic for McDermott? It was a pick that Denver used to draft Jurkic, I think, and Gary Harris.
Yeah, no, we had a shot.
Jurkic and Gary Harris.
Yeah, we had a shot to. Yeah,
Jurkic and Gary Harris.
We moved.
Two players who are contributing on playoff teams right now.
2 cornerstones of Denver right now.
Well, no, Jurkic is on the Blazers.
Oh, I'm thinking of Jokic. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We would know. But Jurkic is a solid rotation player.
Yeah, absolutely. In Portland,
he killed it last year in Portland, actually. And Gary Harris is a stand-up 2 guard. You know, I mean, you will take a Gary Harris on your squad.
Stand-up guy.
Stand-up guy. I like that guy. Michigan State guy.
I want to get back to Melo for a second.
Sorry.
This is where I'm at on this whole Melo situation. I don't like to see what's happening to Melo.
No.
But I think he made this bed for himself. And this is the comparison I have to it. Vince Carter, not the caliber. Maybe he was the caliber player of Melo. Maybe they're very similar in a lot of different ways. But VC coming to the end of his career, he's like, hey, man, I just want to play ball. Any way I can contribute.
Your mentor.
Put me on the roster. I'll teach the young guys. Yeah. I'll come in and contribute as much as possible. And on the flip side, Melo's like, I'm not coming off the bench. Or at least this is when he first started declining and when he left New York, etc. I'm not coming off the bench. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I can still go out and, be the focal point of an offense. I'm starting to think there's still time that he can salvage the, all right, man, Melo used to be. Because now it's all like negative things around Melo. There's still time for him to flip that narrative and kind of fade off into the sunset and can contribute here and there on teams if he's willing to do that.
I feel like Melo, I disagree. I mean, a lot of it he has brought in himself, but I also feel like Melo has had a bad rep since day one. Like, he's just had a bad rap since day one from certain people, and certain people were never going to like Carmelo Anthony for whatever reasons, right? I mean, it might have been the way he acted when he was younger in Denver with the trade situation, coming to New York and putting the spotlight on himself and not delivering, whatever it was, some of the statements that he's made. I mean, people just were out on Melo, and overall, I don't think he's really that bad of a guy. With that being said, I think you're 100% right, man. I mean, I think that the not willing to come off the bench, like even last year when he joined OKC, which he was clearly like out of his prime, and they asked him about coming off the bench and he laughed. And it's like, dude, you are, that was just last year, right? I can understand 5-6 years ago, whatever it might have been, but that was just last year when you were clearly past your prowess. And, you laughed, and NBA teams see that, GMs see that. And the way that you kind of laughed it off is just so like, are y'all serious? I'm still Melo. You know what I mean? I can still give you a dub.
that was kind of very
day.
telling.
It was very telling.
Where his
remember,
mind
he's like, hey,
was
yo, this time I'm going to come off the bench?
Hey,
and we started laughing. You know what I mean? Remember that?
They said I got to come off the bench.
The bench.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it's kind of like, you got to come off the bench. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which isn't the worst thing in the world. D Rose is coming off the bench right now and reinventing his career. And you got to humble yourself. He's a former league MVP. I mean, the league, it's all about your role, man. Staying in the league is about finding a role, finding a niche, whatever it might be. And you look at a guy look at Brian Scalabrine, was in the league for 16 years, got long checks, didn't necessarily play great basketball, but had a role and was a great mentor and a person you want around the locker room. And when your skills start to diminish like that, if you're Melo and you just want to keep a job, then you're good. On the flip side, Melo's might not necessarily be doing it to keep a job. It's not financial for Melo. Melo has made $250 million in his career playing basketball and endorsements and things like that. So for him, his only reason for playing basketball might to still be great.
Can that Lakers shit work?
Probably. I don't
even see
what
that
are you trying
working.
to do? I don't know, man. If I'm LeBron, I'm just like, look, let me just stop trying to work everything else in here. Let me just come back healthy and lead this team. I don't know why you want to try to fit Melo in, especially if he has that ego. So then you can have Melo and LeBron in the locker room around all these young dudes. You know what I mean? You got young players in the Lakers who are impressionable, and you're trying to build something. And LeBron even said, I'm not trying to win this year. That's a very win this year moment, right? That takes away minutes from Brandon Ingram. That takes away minutes from other front court players for them. So it's kind of like, why would you do that if you're not really trying to win this year?
I agree, because this is the thing. It's like LeBron just needs to have that. LeBron's LeBron, right? Have the conversation with Melo, like, bro, I don't think it's gonna work.
It's just not gonna work, man.
Just not. This is not.
This ain't it.
This ain't it, bro.
This ain't it, bro.
And I want to help you. You my guy and all that, etc. But right now, this squad, like.
And what does LeBron really need on that team is they need shooting. And Melo's already told you he doesn't want to stand in the corner and shoot threes. And even when you tried to do it last year in OKC, it didn't work. So he's not going to be Melo's dude. The thing with Melo, for Melo truly to shine, he needs the rock, right? He's a one-on-one ISO heavy player with a flurry of moves, right? And if you want to build your team around him, that's fine. And if he wants to go somewhere and get buckets, go play for the fucking Orlando Magic or something like that. I'm trashing the Magic today. I'm sorry if there's any Magic fans out there. But go play for one of those teams and just get a bunch of buckets. Whatever, sell some tickets. But if you think you want to join a playoff team right now, you need to humble yourself. Say, I'll be a second unit scorer. I'll rebound because I can do that. You know what I mean? I'll provide some offense. I'll work on my shooting. You know what I mean? And I won't demand to be the starter, and I won't try to be the man. I'll just fit in and use my skills how I need it. If you don't want to play me tonight, you don't want to play me tonight, and I'm cool with that.
Can he deal with that, though?
No,
I don't think he can.
I don't think he can.
So I don't think there's a spot for him. I think he either he needs to do what Vince Carter's doing, or he needs to just retire.
But he's not Vince Carter. He doesn't have that rep as Vince Carter. And you know how I feel about Vince Carter. He's a quitter. Look it up. Last year in Toronto, 14 points a game. At the same time,
and then he left and started balling again.
Yeah, left. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. He's missing shots on purpose. It's the only conclusion I can come to. He was missing shots on purpose. Trade me.
Low-key, people don't talk about that.
I talked about it. You defended it, though. We talked about it on the pod. You defended it a little bit.
Yeah.
But he quit on his squad, full on. But he went to New Jersey, reinvented himself, and now has become one of those elder statesmen. He'll get another check next year if he wants to come back. They'll bring him back, sure. Come mentor these young guys. Hey, I don't need to play too much. Let me just get a little workout. You know what I mean? Let me travel a little bit. Let me enjoy this NBA life. Because I'm still a young man in real life terms. You know what I mean? If you can go and pay me another $2 million, I got a lot of money, but I'll take another $2 million.
Facts.
I don't ever want to work again. That $2 million might come in handy in 30 years.
Yeah, I'm going to go get some dinner at this spot in LA I haven't been to yet.
LA, let's go. Oh, Chicago last time. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, Benny, what's going on? You know what I mean? Let me bask, and everybody loves you. Like Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade loved that shit the other night. And he's a legend, but Dwayne Wade loved that.
How you feel about that? The tribute. I hated it.
I thought it was funny.
I hated it. Why?
Yeah, he played one dysfunctional year here.
Oh, and he robbed us.
Yeah. But shout out him.
The tribute video should have just been a Brinks truck backing up and money falling out.
He didn't rob us. We allowed that.
That's true.
We allowed
You're
that.
right.
We allowed that.
I shouldn't.
We signed him to a 2-year deal.
We didn't rob him. He robbed.
We knew what it was. We went after him and pursued him and sold him on the
Facts.
hometown narrative and said, hey, we're going to give you $40 million, which no other team is going to give you.
And a player option.
And a player option.
That you would never opt out of in the history
unless you average 30 points a game. Yeah, even then you're not opting out.
In the history of the world, you would always
here's $40 million. And then we also know if it doesn't go right, we're going to have to pay you to go away. So here's $30 million in here, man. Thank you. We appreciate it. Yeah, he didn't rob anybody. I love D-Wade, man.
No, D-Wade.
Shout out D-Wade.
Yeah, no, D-Wade's a legend, no doubt.
Legend,
but I don't know if he should be getting tribute videos.
No, maybe not. Maybe they're just trying to play up the whole Chicago angle with him. But I guess, maybe that's what they are doing. I mean, he lives in Chicago, or he lived in Chicago for a while in the offseason, raises kids here, stuff like that. So I guess they're giving him that. Look, the Bulls got to get something, man. They got to sell tickets that night. It's a business. Hey, come buy these tickets for D-Wade tribute night.
Stop going to the games. Facts. Period. I've been saying it.
I'm not going anytime soon.
Stop going to the games.
I told you, I'm not even a Bulls. I'm not even rocking with the Bulls.
And
right
if anybody in the league needs something done, call us up. We'll do it for you.
Business.
We'll do it. We'll do anything you want. If you send some cash over here. If there's a check
involved, we're open for business.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Let's move over quickly to the Bears. The boys got Pro Bowlers, man.
Yeah. We're
not gonna stay on this too long because the Pro Bowl is a nothing, a zero. I don't even know why it's still around.
Huffy.
I would love to switch it for like a wild ass skills competition, something fun, something cool.
I'd rather just scrap NFL All-Star thing.
It's just not it's not a sport you can have an All-Star game in.
Football is fun for football, man. Yeah.
Football is not something you can do for fun.
You can't half-ass. You can't showboat.
You can't for fun football.
You fuck around and get hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
you just can't for fun football.
Just give me the All-Pro teams, whatever it is, like just like an end-of-the-year type name type thing. Like, yeah, he was an All-Pro, and let's just move on from there. When's the last time you watched, like, for real, when's the last time you watched a Pro Bowl?
Legit, Randy Moss was playing.
Yeah.
And I was little. I was like 13, 14, maybe 15.
If the Pro Bowl was tied with 2 minutes left and you got an alert on your phone, would you stop what you're doing and go to the Pro Bowl?
Absolutely. If the Pro Bowl was a Saturday afternoon and they gave me $100 to watch it, I wouldn't watch it.
Not doing it.
We're going to do something else.
Something else.
No, I'm not watching the Pro Bowl.
So who cares about the actual game? I think it should just be maybe send the players out, let them enjoy Hawaii, have them do something else. I don't even want to see the skills competition because it's kind of whatever to me. I mean, I guess if you can make that fun, but yeah, who cares? I mean,
there's got to be something you can do though. Flag football, make it a flag game. Do something, bro. 7 on anything.
I'm not even playing flag. I'm not pulling the hammy.
Yeah,
for you.
Right. No, it's true.
You fuck around and plant the wrong way in your ACL, you're gone.
Yeah, no, dude. Yeah,
you couldn't get me to play in the Pro Bowl, man. And like I used to, I'm not happy. It's not happening.
No,
but shout out the Bears players that did make the Pro Bowl.
But yeah, we added a couple. We got Kyle Fuller, Eddie Jackson, Akeem Hicks, Khalil Mack, who was out on an injury. That's the classic. I make too much money to show up to the Pro Bowl. I'm not going. Tariq Cohen. And then we added Leno, Mitch, and Cody Whitehair.
Yeah.
That's, dude, it's still mind-boggling to look back a year at our squad and then to fast forward a year and name that many Pro Bowlers. So congratulations to those guys. That's big time. And we won't be talking too much about the Bears for a little bit.
Let's let it ride.
We should pick a game next year. We talking about people were already talking about London. We're gonna be in London next year playing Oakland. Denver's an away game. I would go to.
That's some bullshit. We won 12 games this year, and we got to go play that dumbass London game. We played it a couple of years ago too, and I don't understand how a marquee franchise like the Chicago Bears has to go over to London. Don't you send Cleveland over there?
They should only send Jacksonville.
Jacksonville should have a
Jacksonville has been playing over there.
Permanent reservation in London. Permanent. You don't have enough history. Permanent reservations in London.
New England had to go.
That's
they've
ridiculous.
Gone a couple times.
That's ridiculous. If I'm Bill Belichick, I'm livid that I have to go to London.
I don't know if they're going next year, but they've gone a couple times.
You lose a home game. Someone loses a home game.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like that's for a team like the Bears, you could lose a home game in the winter.
That's big.
That's a decided advantage for you.
No doubt.
I don't like that, man. I think non-playoff teams should have to do that.
Interesting.
Figure it out and move. Because look, you're making non-playoff teams should have to do it.
Yeah. First place teams shouldn't have to go to London.
Yeah. Just like, hey, you don't want to do hard knocks? Non-playoff teams have to do hard knocks.
Is that true?
Yeah, a lot of teams don't want to do hard knocks.
Well, no, a lot of teams don't want to do it, but
no. I'm saying that's what you should do. No.
You should have the option to be like,
you should be like, oh, I made the playoffs. We don't got to do this.
Yeah, okay. I like that.
We don't got to do this.
I'm not mad
I don't
at
want to
that.
participate. I think if you don't make the playoffs, you go to London. Because nobody wants to go.
Goodell doesn't do shit like that, though.
Well, because he's a fucking idiot. But
I bet,
but nobody.
I bet you half of the players don't mind.
No, I don't think any player in the middle of the season wants to go to London to play a football game in the fall. It's not like it's like, hey, we're going to Rio. And motherfuckers like, oh, yeah, let's go to Rio. You're going to London. Like, yeah, great historical city, but you're prepping for a football game the entire week. You're not walking around really doing too much.
Yeah, that's true. You're probably not seeing
playing
very
out
much.
the country. And remember, what are football players are like the most routine-oriented people in the world. Like, everything is on a routine. Nothing throws off your routine more like a fucking, how long is a 10-hour flight to London?
It's like from New York, it's like 6.5.
Yeah, nothing throws off your routine like an international flight, messing with the time zones, and then playing in a foreign stadium. Like, that completely throws off your whole middle of the season groove. Like, imagine if you were on a streak, and it's like, yeah, we won 6 straight. It's like, hey, you got to go to London next week. You're like,
yeah, fuck.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It throws off your planning. You got to transplant your whole organization over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. Facts.
You're not playing in an NFL stadium. Like, nah, I'm good.
Shout out to Terrell McCarter. He said, but they're playing for $30,000 in the Pro Bowl, though. That don't mean shit.
That doesn't mean shit. I mean, it does. No, that means shit to some people.
No, you
think?
think?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Who?
A lot of bro.
Because Tariq? Because Tariq's making what?
How many? I mean, dude, most NFL players, if you're talking about some of these first guys who in their first few years, they're making $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. That's a lot. $30,000 is fucking 7%. It's a lot of money. And you get, dude, it's not like a lot of these guys are great with their money. You know what I mean? So, like, that extra 30K.
Is extra 30.
Because, you know, that's the last 30. You're not getting another check for 5 months.
Yeah, I guess I didn't think about that.
You don't get a check in the summertime.
You don't get a game check in the summer.
No game check in the summertime. So, you get 30,000 is like, hey, I needs that. Or it's just like, whatever. Yeah, you'll take that. I mean, you're going out. Why not?
I think it was a way bigger deal when it was in Hawaii, too.
Yeah, it was a free trip to Hawaii.
Yeah.
So you take your family, you can take a plus on the day. We're going to Hawaii. It's paid for. It's a quick trip.
And we get 30 Tampa now, right?
Yeah, who the fuck wants to go to Tampa. For anything?
Yeah, that's
not a vacation. You ever been to Tampa before?
Have I been to Tampa?
Yeah, I've been to Tampa.
Yeah, I've been to Tampa.
Tampa's trash.
Yeah, Tampa's whack.
It's whack. I hate Florida in general.
Florida's whack, period.
Florida, but it's not like Miami or it's like Tampa is trash.
Yeah, Tampa's whack.
Shout out if we got any fans from Tampa. I'm sorry, but
yeah, no, Tampa's whack.
Tampa's super whack.
Florida's whack.
Florida sucks.
All right, let's move over to the big chunk of what we're going to talk about for the next whatever. Super Bowl 53 is the Patriots.
They are who we thought they were.
Versus the St. Louis Rams. Who's the home team?
The Los Angeles Rams.
The Rams?
Okay.
Okay.
No, well, you said the St. Louis Rams. The Los Angeles Rams.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Los Angeles Rams. My fault.
Shout out to Lou.
Yeah, shout out St. Louis. Shout out y'all. I know y'all salty. But yeah, Los Angeles Rams versus the Patriots. And yo, let me keep it 100. Me and Nick were going back and forth in the group chat. I got pretty fucking mad. I was hot.
Super mad, bro. Keep it real. You know what I mean? Sean was getting super salty all game. Declared victory multiple times. And I already know, like, you were sitting there just waiting for that game to be over and win so you could say whatever tweet you already had planned, or if I'm sorry, text message you was already going to send out. Talking big shit all game. Talking big shit really all season. I know you didn't find the clip. You do have the clip?
No, I don't have the clip.
We don't have the clip.
We can't pull it.
But literally what I said is, hey, if the Patriots get to the playoffs, don't be surprised if they're there in the end. All of a sudden, Sean takes that to me being the biggest Patriots fan in the world. Apparently, I co-signed their defense, which never happened. Apparently, I said Bilichick
I don't
can turn
know if that's true.
Fucking water into wine, which never happened. Like, whatever it was, all that, you know what I'm saying? And then you went off on this tangent about all these things with me Patriots. And I literally just said, at the end of the day, do not be surprised if these boys are here. And what's over, the day is over, and they are here. I'm right.
You were right.
100%.
You were right. I was wrong. But it was.
But what was your point? Because you kept referring to this point.
Let me go back and explain. And
super salty in the group text.
And you can go
throw that shit on Instagram when this is over. Super salty, like coming at me in the group text.
And you can go watch it.
Shut up, Nick. Fuck you.
This is like what
salty, bro.
This is what I said.
One too many fucking margaritas, whatever the fuck you were drinking.
By the way, okay. The whole thing that makes me really mad is they go through the media all the time, talks about, is it Belichick or Brady? Yo, listen to me. It's Brady is the reason, and then it's Belichick. Do you understand me? Like, all this, they need each other for sure, but Brady is carrying the couple. If they're a power couple, Brady is carrying those boys. That was my main point. My main point, what I made when they were playing the Bears, was every week someone says Belichick's going to come up with a scheme, and every week on D they get throttled, and Brady has to score 40. They still win because Brady comes out and does what he did.
Who talks about his defensive schemes? And first off, they came out that game running. They ran the ball 48 times on Sunday.
Did they really?
48. Did you watch the game?
Okay.
All they did was run the ball. That was crazy. They came out giving Sony Michel the ball left and right.
No, that's true.
That was a game plan.
How many times they run it the last 6 minutes?
Not a lot.
Okay.
I understand.
All right.
I understand.
So,
but look, I'm just saying it all works together. And I'm not.
So I
love Tom Brady I say it all the time. Tom Brady is the best quarterback ever to play this game.
Yeah, no.
Hands down, it's not a question. Don't tell me about anybody else. So I 100% agree with you, but you almost go to the point of like discrediting Belichick because their defense is trash. Their defense
Isn't that what he does though?
No, he's a head coach. Belichick is one of the last head coaches. He's in charge of every fucking thing. You think it wasn't his idea to run the ball 48 times? Like, hey, Josh, go ahead and call whatever you want to. Are you serious? Stop playing. That's Belichick. Bro, who are their best players on offense outside of Tom Brady? A broken down Rob Gronkowski who shows up every once in a while, a bunch of receivers you've never heard of, and Julian Edelman. And a running back. I mean, they were running the ball with James White, and he's their pass catcher.
See, James White, they're running it with Burkhead.
With Burkhead, everybody. They ran the ball 48 times. That's Belichick. I told you that Chiefs defense was soft up front. They had no answer for the run in the beginning of the game.
I don't think we're disagreeing on anything.
I never thought we were.
Yeah.
You just took it somewhere. You got super salty on
I did get salty.
Put up the group messages later. You came at me.
I apologize for that.
Well, Tom Brady's still there, and he'll be there at the end of 2 Sundays from now too.
They're gonna win.
They're gonna win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they're gonna win. I think
that's a fact.
But I think you're getting lost, and it's never talked about. Belichick's a defensive guy, and what they do really well is take away the other team's biggest threat. And Tyreek Hill was a no-show.
No, did he play?
A no-show.
I don't even. That's funny you said that.
Yo.
I haven't even thought about Tyreek. I didn't think about him at all on Sunday.
Did he play? 3 touches.
That's defense, right?
Yeah, they still gave up whatever, but yeah, they took away their best player.
Look,
my whole thing was what I was arguing was the whole Belichick could do this without Brady is an absolute farce. It's not real. That's bullshit.
I never said that.
And I think no, I'm not saying you said that, but I think a lot of people are saying that they're even, and if you pull one, I'm confident that if you pulled Belichick out of that team and you got a solid head coach, Brady could still win 11 games and win that division.
I disagree, and here's why. Look on the other sideline. You got Andy Reid. He gets there 8 times he's been there, 7 times he's been there. He's been to the Super Bowl only one time out of that.
1 for 9 or whatever, yeah.
It's a real thing. Some coaches can pull it off in big games, and some coaches can't. And Andy Reid is a hell of a coach, a phenomenal regular season coach, a phenomenal playoff coach for the first 2 games of the playoffs. But once he gets to those conference championships, he cannot get it done. Cannot get it done. Belichick gets to him, and he's been to what? 9, and they've been to this is their 6th Super Bowl. 3 straight years in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and
the 41-year-old quarterback, and they literally—it's not like they draft well; they draft terribly. That's the real secret is that Belichick's an awful GM. They don't draft that well. You know what I mean? They don't draft.
I wouldn't say awful GM.
What's the last good receiver he's drafted?
The personnel. He always gets rid of the personnel a year early. though.
Yeah, he's great at that. He's not a good drafter though.
Yeah.
They're
always drafting 30.
Yeah. But he's always picking up picks and stuff though. The brilliant thing that he does is this guy's about a year away from getting paid. I'm going to trade him.
Yeah. He's very good at that.
Chandler Jones. Oh, this guy's awesome. Trade him.
Yeah, get out of here. Yeah.
Get him out of here.
Yo, I'm not the superstitious guy, and I'm not this guy is luckier than this guy, or this it seems like shit always breaks their way. But god damn, man.
Andy Reid?
The Patriots.
Oh, the Patriots.
Shit I see, it's just how does this, the game is over, he throws a pick, offsides. That's the only offside. That's the only neutral zone infraction all game.
Yeah.
And it happens on the play they throw a pick. That ball that jumps over Edelman's hands, we're talking millimeters, bro.
Yeah.
Of the ball jumping over his hands and them not having to give up the ball there.
And look, he came back and played a big game, but he loves to fucking drop or let big passes go through his hands in huge moments.
That was a tough catch.
Yeah, it was.
And he made a lot of big catches too. So I'm not gonna fault Edelman.
But if I would have told you,
he lives over the middle, which is hard to do.
If I would have told you that Tom Brady would have thrown 2 picks, including one in the fucking end zone, and the Patriots still won, you would have been like, "Yeah, that's kind of crazy, right?"
That one in the end zone was
that was horrendous.
Yeah, it was
I don't
really
know.
bad.
I don't know. I've never. I was surprised. I was shocked that I saw Tom Brady throw that.
Yeah, that was really bad. But so then it's 3rd and 8. The biggest play of the game for me was, I mean, obviously the offsides was enormous,
huge,
because the game is over. But that Hogan catch, that one-hand catch over the middle,
ridiculous. That's not getting enough credit on Monday
at all.
That catch was absurd.
It was
the biggest. It was
3rd and 8, like 3.5 minutes.
It was 3rd and 8. Yeah, it was a huge catch.
Huge catch. And I'm just like, how does this always happen, bro?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. This is crazy. The Edelman shit, the offsides, the Hogan catch.
I thought the fucking Gronkowski catch was ridiculous too. Brady threw a strike.
Yeah, dropped it.
And Gronk was covered.
Gronk doesn't. Well, this is
you can't really cover because he's so big, but like, yeah.
We were talking about this before. Gronk doesn't drop anything.
He doesn't drop anything. If you throw it in the radius, he's going to catch.
When
I saw that, I was like, there's no way he's catching that ball.
If he gets 2 hands on the rock, it's a catch.
It's a catch.
Forget about it.
And Brady just dropped it in there.
Yeah.
Just dropped. I was never worried, man. I told you if when we were talking about it last week, if you're telling me that it's Belichick and Brady versus Reed and the incredible Patrick Mahomes is that guy.
Yeah.
100%. They hung 31 on the Patriots in the second half. Mahomes was that dude. But if you're telling me it's those two versus those two, I'm taking, because the game is going to come down to that type of situation, I'm taking Tom Brady in them. Andy Reid had some bad clock management decisions in the game. At the end of the game, it was 51 seconds left. He let it run down to 39, did not call a timeout, wasted 12 seconds.
Oh, while they're trying to maybe go down and score a touchdown.
Yeah. That was Andy Reid.
I thought he was I heard some people giving him flack about the challenge. I think you have to challenge that. He lost it, but I think you have to challenge that. They were going to come up and snap it quick.
Yeah.
I think you got to challenge that.
You got to challenge
that.
They
lose the timeout there.
100%.
But where we at? So I'm sitting on the couch. I'm actually at John. I'm with John and Henry. We're kicking it. We're eating some pizza, watching it. And I saw the coin flip. First off, I was so locked in. They flipped the coin, and I saw it hit the ref's foot. And I was just like, this Patriots ball. I'm like, yo, this is Patriots ball. And I knew as soon as whoever got the ball was going to end the game. And when I saw the Patriots got it and you sent me that period text, I was just like, this shit is over.
I told you that was game. Sick. Game, set, match.
I think, listen, regular season, I'm all for team gets the ball and they score a touchdown, end the game.
Yeah.
I think in the playoffs, bro, to see them go out like that and Mahomes
so
not even.
Your both teams touch the ball,
not
guy?
Even. Well, no, I mean, I think in the playoffs, he got to at least touch the rock, bro. I think that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
So they were talking about that this morning on the radio and kind of where you were on that. I don't know where I am on that, man. I mean, it's always when something doesn't go your way.
Are you on the they had all game to win and then now
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can continually change rules till you get the result that you want. Not necessarily like a win or loss, but for the game to keep going and for you to say, oh, it was fair because Mahomes got to touch it one last time. But it's like, yeah. That game was for the take. In the fourth quarter, there were many opportunities to keep winning that game, and neither team was able to do it. Those are the rules that we play with. It's the rules for both teams. You have a defense. Maybe your defense should stop somebody. I saw they fired their defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
they kept panning to him on the sidelines. I'm like, yeah, that guy is cooked.
He's the old Army defensive coordinator.
Yeah, like that dude is just let's come into 2019.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, so I mean, you had a check. You need to make a stop at some point. Yeah, don't make excuses for this defense. They need to make a stop.
They were getting diced.
They were getting diced up the entire game. First, they got diced up by the run, then they got diced up by the pass.
Yeah,
they were getting chopped up. They could not stop anything. They had no plan.
I think 36 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was insane. That shit was awesome. That's one of the best games I've seen in a long time, no doubt.
And
then Switching, you want to switch over to the NFC real
Yeah,
quick?
real quick though. When you mentioned the ... that I sent you, it had a flashback of that fucking meme you kept sending. That shit was killing me. That shit was killing me. Hey,
you know what that's from?
No, it's Jim Carrey, right?
Jim Carrey. I think it's like a Saturday Night Live skit or something, or like a Living in Color skit.
Put
or
that
something.
shit on.
Oh my god!
Put that shit up later
dude.
too. That shit was. I was getting hot.
That is.
I was like, yo, if he sends this fucking meme one more. Like, yo, I was hot.
Yo, that's one of the funniest memes I got in the
I was hot.
Right,
like, yeah, put up those. Sean and I like full out went at it on Sunday night over this fucking game, and like it was funny. Eder and Eli didn't say shit.
Yeah, no, they didn't.
So they were just watching that shit. Like, yo, what's going on?
But yeah, that meme is really funny.
Yeah. Shit.
Let's switch over to
Rams Saints. Robbery. Talk about robberies.
I was very close to going 0-2.
Yeah.
But I was very close to being 2-0 too.
Yeah,
Could have went either way, right?
Yeah. I think it was fitting we landed at 1-1 on this.
No doubt. Another great ball game.
Mm-hmm.
The Saints, like I said, bro, no one wanted to talk about it. They've been looking kind of sus for a little bit, and they didn't get Michael Thomas rolling.
Yeah.
And they were handcuffed by that.
Yeah. Well, they got out to the early lead, and I think I texted you, like, oh, it's over. You know what I mean? I was like, there's no way they're going to come back on them at the Superdome, so I thought the Saints were going to keep rolling. And when they didn't, remember I told you,
Rams looked horrible.
I was like, yo, if they score a touchdown here, it's going to be over, right? And they didn't score a touchdown. They ended up kicking a field goal, went up 10-0.
I told you those two. Yeah.
I was like, if they go up 14-0, it's a major problem. They didn't go up 14-0. At that point, it became problematic. And yeah, I mean, the Rams came out in the second half, did their thing. I'm still gonna clown McVay for kicking that field goal, but it ended up working out in his favor.
It really did, but that really would have been.
I thought he was gonna go for that.
That would have been a talking point.
Yeah.
After the game, if they lost.
100%.
The Sean McVay, the offensive genius guru, gets the ball down to the 1 yard line,
kicks a field goal,
yeah. And they lose.
I was so surprised.
Yeah, I was like, all right, that's incredible.
I thought like for sure he had something dialed up.
Did it sting you as much as it stung me to see all these big time kicks go in?
Yeah.
From like 50 plus.
I was going to put that in the group message. I was like, yo, every time a field goal kicker makes a kick today, like a part of me dies.
Yeah, no,
because it just makes me think about Park. Because like Zerline was hitting them with ease.
Bro, he was running draws.
Ease.
He was running draws. He was
ease.
bringing the ball back.
With ease.
It was crazy.
With ease, bro.
He was bringing it back. He was doing his thing.
Doing his whole thing, yeah.
It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, with ease. Yeah, it absolutely bothered me because those teams took care of business and had a kicker that was reliable. I mean, yeah, let's not talk about this. But, yeah, it did bother me, though, for sure. Like 100%, it was like, man, it's crazy when you have confidence in your kicker and their fan bases aren't sweating out when their kicker comes out.
No doubt. The biggest talking point to end the game was the no-call pass interference.
This is the biggest talking point of the year.
That was a blatant pass interference.
I was watching that. I was like, I can't. You remember? You know what it was like? It's like in Madden when you start controlling your player and you're able to like, knock the guy down.
Exactly.
That's what I thought. I was like, this dude's going full. He didn't even look. He had no idea there was a ball in the air. He just saw some dude and just laid him out.
It's funny, bro. I'm gonna be 100% honest. When I was watching it live, I don't know if it was just so blatant or what happened, but I didn't say anything.
I was like, that's a PI.
I didn't think it was a call.
Oh my god!
And then they showed the replay, and I was like, wow.
He even said after the game, he was like, I didn't look at the ball.
No, dude, he didn't do anything.
His back was turned to the ball, and he ran straight at my man's and fucking tackled him.
And the ref is legit
right there,
5 feet away.
Yeah,
he's standing right there looking at the ball. Almost probably goes over his head.
Yeah, the ball wasn't even close to him yet. Not close enough to where the ref could have even thought like, oh, this was an uncatchable ball or something like that. Like the ball, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, there was no misinterpretation of that play.
It was the classic. The DB panicked, and he was like, "Oh shit,
I'm just gonna get this PI."
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna get this PI.
Like, I'll take this PI before I give up this.
He made the right. He took a gamble and he won.
Yeah, facts.
He took a gamble and he won.
What can they do about it? Where do you stand on that?
Nothing. What do you mean?
No.
I just read that a New Orleans attorney is suing the league to get them to come back and play the final couple minutes.
Anguish and all types of stuff. No, people are talking about being able to. We should be able to review. You should be able to challenge something like that.
Again, this goes back to the overtime thing. It's always good to try to come up with these super crazy overtime.
But don't you want to get the game right?
I don't know
Don't
if
you
I want
wanna
to get
it
into
right?
the. I don't.
Like,
Okay, so how about
obviously
this?
you can't change
If
it
you do
right there at the game, but like going into next year, don't you want to be able to get that shit right?
Because you got to remember what the league wants to protect their referees, and the league's not going to come out and have the referee plays like that be challenged all the time. Number one. Number two, no, I don't know. I mean,
but he got it wrong though. It's
yeah.
obvious. Just like the ref gets wrong if like down by contact or that. Like why?
So you want to add? So you want to add the ref's calls into the challenge? Or should it be an inside of 2 minutes thing? Should it be a game situation thing?
Honest,
maybe booth reviews on huge calls inside of 2 minutes? I'm fine with that.
I haven't thought about it, but that might be a way around it where people aren't challenging plays in the second quarter. Yeah. But like final 2 minutes.
Booth review on plays inside of 2 minutes.
Was this holding or was it not?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, holding happened. I think if you start reviewing holding, you're going to throw a flag on every single play.
I guess where does it stop, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. You start challenging every single thing. So if it's a booth review, I mean, then there's some, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I mean, bottom line, that should not and cannot happen. It was such a bad call. And the crazy thing about that game is the refs were letting a lot of shit go in general in that game. I mean, there was a lot of like contact down the field between receivers and the DBs and stuff like that. So they were definitely letting them play. I think at one point the announcers were even like, yo, we like watching this, how every game should be. But shit like that, I mean, you can't be that lax about it. I mean, there was no, again, a lot of times you can say, hey, look, I could see how that could be misinterpreted. It's still an awful call, but I could see, hey, maybe something was blocking his vision or he just saw it a certain type of way. The ball wasn't there. I mean, there was no way you could misinterpret what happened there if you saw the play.
Yeah.
Especially if it's your job to see the play and interpret what happened. There's no way you can misinterpret that. I'm sorry. No way at all.
He just missed it. He panicked. He didn't.
I don't know.
He missed it.
I don't know if he missed it. It was fucking looking right at it.
He just froze up. He didn't at the time. He didn't.
Maybe he was like, wow, that's so blatant that maybe
he just panicked. He didn't know what to. Yeah, he just didn't call it.
Maybe he didn't know where the ball was. But even the ball is not. Even if the ball is going the opposite direction, that's illegal contact.
It was a penalty regardless.
It was a penalty regardless.
Yeah, no doubt. Because you can go back to the Chiefs Pats, that roughing the passer call.
Yeah.
Like that'd be something you could challenge and they'd go back and look at it and be like, okay, he actually didn't hit him in the head. Yeah. Let's bring this shit back. Yeah. So it's tough. But I don't know, man. I want them to get the game right as much as possible. So
it's the worst call I've ever seen, I think.
The worst non-call.
Yeah, worst non-call, whatever. Like most, like as far as impacting a game. And like I don't even think that's some recency shit. Like I can't think this is to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I
mean, you call that the Saints are in the Super Bowl.
I thought our ending of the season was bad. The Saints got it a lot worse.
You're sick. No, I think ours was worse.
You think so?
Yeah, just based on the fact that that's what he had been doing all year long. And it was like the Saints were surprised. They would have never in a million years thought that would have happened. If you'd have said, Nick, the Bears lost that game, what happened? I would have been like, oh, Cody Parkey probably shanked one.
But this is the other thing.
Picked it off the post.
They were good all year.
Yeah.
They were going into the season. People were picking them to win the NFC. So, like, this is kind of those expectations getting to the wall, and it's the NFC Championship. We're a team that wasn't supposed to be good. We end up being good. We're at home. I'm
not buying that,
I think the Saints is worse.
He had clinked 5 field goals earlier throughout the year and then clinked one that would have sent us to the next round. I'm not buying that. You never want to yeah. I don't know. Yeah, what's worse to lose by, the refs or your kicker? 2 fucking people who should just do their job. And not impact the game in any significant way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's facts. That's facts. All right. We're gonna have another show before the Super Bowl, so we'll break all that down. Yeah. I think we should go through the props and stuff too.
Oh yeah, let's do.
I think that'll be fun. A good one, yeah. We'll go through the props and we'll do all that.
We're going to Media Day next year.
Yeah, no doubt. That'd be sick.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be so.
We would
clown.
Yeah.
We'd
clown. I think everybody gets. We could. Hey. Let's do that. The next 12 months, we're working on Super Bowl Media Day credentials. If anybody listening has any plug to get us Media Day credentials.
Is here 2022.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's some stuff we need to do. We need to lock in on.
No, we'll talk you should about definitely rent out the crib and go on a vacation and get some money.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea too. But let's switch over to the NBA.
Yeah.
The NBA is the best.
Love it.
MLK Day was yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
It's
full slate.
Between NBA, college ball, and women's basketball, there had to be like 300 games yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, there was so much hoops on, it was out of control.
Speaking of women's basketball, I watched South Carolina versus, I want to say, Mississippi State.
Hey, I'm not going to flex.
Game,
Some of these females' game is way better than it used to be.
Yeah.
I saw a girl do, like, between the legs, drop step.
Yeah.
Go up, finish like an and one.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
It was a crazy bucket.
Yeah.
Then I saw someone come off a screen. Like, yeah, it was better basketball than I remember seeing.
For sure,
so shout out to females for upping that the hoops game, no
definitely.
doubt. Shout out Sue Bird. But you had some stuff you want to talk about that Kyrie thing, and I got a couple of things I want to talk about because my favorite thing of yesterday was the Sixers.
You were all about this blowout game. You were just more about the attitude.
I was just about. Well, I thought it would tighten up in the second half a little bit, but the first half was amazing.
I love Joel Embiid. I love his quotes. You see what he said about Russ? They're talking about him and Russ got into it the other night.
He did push him, bro.
And he's like, I don't know what's wrong with him. He's always in his feelings. Like, it was great. I love Embiid, man. what I like about Embiid, is that he's a ball. Like, he talks a lot of shit, but like he 100% backs it up on the court.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like, he's a problem.
Yeah, he's a major
problem. He's like, he gets up for those games. Like, he talks shit on Drummond and then goes and destroys Drummond. You know what I mean? He's like, I live inside his head. Like, I really live inside this dude's head.
And then he gives him 30.
Gives him 30.
15,
yeah. And just is inside his head. So I love that, man. I love when you can back it up. I got no problem with the talkers.
I think the great thing about Embiid is that he hustles too.
Yeah.
Big time hustler.
Yeah.
Big time hustler.
That two-way player.
Yeah, the block against James was awesome. He's running back full speed, like doesn't give up on the play. I would say a vast majority of the big men in the NBA just let that go be a layup.
Yeah.
Or he'll go get free throws. And they were up like 13 or 14 at the time.
Yeah.
Like, that's 100%. I'll take this off and get back.
This is on TV, right?
Meanwhile, Joel is running down and like, I can't wait to slap this motherfucking shit off the glass and then remind him like, yo.
And talk shit.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, he posts the Instagram photos with the locations and shit.
Yeah,
it's funny, man.
I'm here.
I really like Joel Embiid. I'm happy he's healthy and doing his thing. But yeah, I wanted to ask you about that Kyrie shit. A lot of Kyrie news going on over the last couple of years. He's really over the last couple of weeks. He's really feeling this opportunity to get the spotlight and talk a lot. So I just kind of wanted to ask you how you felt about those Kyrie comments about how he called LeBron James and pretty much told him, "Hey, I see the light. I see what you were trying to show me."
I thought I loved it because it's very rare you get that take from a big time athlete like him. Mm-hmm. Has his own signature shoe, has everything in the world at his fingertips. On the Boston Celtics, they're one of the best teams in the East. He's the point guard. He runs the show. He's got movies coming out. And he legit took a step back and admitted that, I didn't really see like the pressure that he was under and what exactly he was trying to do.
What he was trying to show us.
And I commend him for that.
Yeah.
I thought that was huge.
Okay.
And it's funny because this never came out. But when like people were talking shit about, Kyrie is talking shit about LeBron, this, that, and the third, he wants out of town. LeBron never commented on that.
Doesn't.
He just was like, all right. And I can guarantee you in his head, he's like, you gonna see.
Yeah, you'll see.
You gonna see what I was doing.
You think you want to just go be the man somewhere and think it's all good?
You gonna see what I was talking about. You gonna
Yeah.
see what I was trying to do. Yep. And when you do, we'll talk about it then.
We'll talk about it then.
Like, simple as that.
Well, because LeBron had to go learn. He went and learned from D-Wade and them and Pat Riley and them in Miami. Like, hey, man, you can be the man and put up stats and all that, but if you want to win and accomplish something in this league,
it's a lot more
it's
stuff
a lot
going
more
on.
than that. You got to be locked in. You got to be mentally strong to do that. Like, that's the difference between good players and great players and good teams and great teams is that mental toughness. I guess I didn't mind it. One thing I did kind of realize is so a couple days prior to that, he had the top comments where he came out and was criticizing the young guys, right? And he got a lot of flack for that and everything like that. Then they came out, they had that big win that night. And the only thing I didn't like is that he did bring that up after that big win, right? I think that was a good opportunity for him to be like, yo, see, the young guys got it done tonight. Like, yo, I'm happy for them. Instead, he went off on some long-ass tangent about a phone call.
Basically about it.
And put the spotlight back on him.
Yeah, he talked about himself.
Yeah, and I think, you know, and again, I'm not like up in arms about it, but I do think as a leader, it was a good opportunity for him to kind of put some spotlight on his teammates, and he didn't necessarily take it. So I wish he kind of would have did that.
I mean, at the end of the day, he's a selfish dude.
Yeah.
I think superstar dudes
you have to be
are just like selfish by nature.
You have to be.
But he is a selfish dude, and it shows how, like, I want out of Cleveland. I can do this somewhere else. No problem.
Yeah.
He then learned, you know what I'm saying? But, like, yeah, he's never going to turn the light on him in a negative way. So that was just an opportunity. They got a big win. They had been struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, and I talked to LeBron. Oh, yeah, by the way.
They've been struggling a lot of it.
Yeah, by the way, I talked to LeBron, and I get it now, you know what I'm saying? But we got the win. I'm glad, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing like LeBron, and, you know, shout out LeBron for teaching me.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep leading. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
They said Bron was out to dinner with Kevin Love when he got that call.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's what Kevin Love said. He said he was out to dinner with LeBron because they were playing the Lakers or some shit. I think Kevin Love was traveling with the Cavs. Yeah. And he had dinner with Bron.
I wonder that's an interesting relationship.
I think on the court he looks at him like, yo, dude is soft sometimes and isn't built that way. But I think he probably fucks with them off the court.
I'm talking about Kevin Love and LeBron.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You can tell certain times he hated playing with him.
Yo, how do you feel about this? Because this is low key kind of what I think. I think Kevin Love sacrificed a big part of his career.
He sacrificed almost a massive part of his career.
Do you think he resents him for that at all? I mean, they ended up getting a chip.
Yeah.
So I guess it's tough to resent him, but man, he's just never gonna be that man again.
I think if you're Kevin Love,
he's never gonna be known as the guy he could have been known as.
But here's the thing: he had that opportunity on shitty Minnesota teams and clearly didn't like it. You know what I mean? He can say he's one of the rare. He can say, "Hey, look, I was the man for a long time, so I've experienced that love." I mean, he had a good 6-7 year run where he was putting up 24 and 14 and crazy shit like that. Yeah. And then he's like, yo, I did a pivot for my career, went and picked up a chip. When that was all said and done, still got another max contract from Cleveland. Remember, they signed him to a $30 million a year deal this offseason, extension. And, you know, so I mean, he's like, well, what else do I want? I made a ton of money, won a chip, have been the man, and have been a role player. It's all good. That's what Melo couldn't do. So he's like the anti-Melo.
Interesting.
He's the anti. So would you rather be Kevin Love or Carmelo? I mean, that's a good question. Would you rather be Kevin Love, who played in 4 straight NBA Finals, won one, will never have to hear a conversation about how he didn't win a ring, and still's got a pocket full of bread, right? So he's good in that regard. Borderline Hall of Famer. His early career numbers will get him in the Hall of Fame.
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, he's good in the Hall of Fame probably.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. If you look at the body of his career, yeah, if he comes back healthy and has a nice little second run here at the end, he can probably put up Hall of Fame. I mean, dude, the guy was averaging 16 rebounds, 15 rebounds a game in Minnesota.
He was different.
The numbers are there. Yeah. And he was still giving 4 or 5 dimes too. So yeah, I think when it all stacks up, look at the All-Star game appearances. How many All-Star game appearances does he have? 8, 9, 10? You know what I mean? Yeah. Career averages of what? 20 and 12 maybe? 20 and 11? What do we got? What's those career averages looking like?
Career is 18 and 11.
How many dimes?
2.
Okay.
For his career. But, I mean,
look at some of those years in Minnesota.
Some of those Minnesota seasons
statistically ridiculous.
Were out of control. 26. He's averaged 26 points more than twice.
Yeah.
In 2011 and then in 2013, 2014 before he went to Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
In 2010, 2011, 15 rebounds, 20 points. There was 5 straight seasons where he went double-double and basically 20 points almost. Yeah.
So borderline. I mean, maybe he won't make it, maybe he will, but it's kind of like, I mean, he had a great career. So it's like, yeah, would you rather be Melo or Kevin Love? And Kevin Love did sacrifice a lot. Chris Bosh sacrificed a lot, but those guys are champions.
You know, I don't think Chris Bosh sacrificed as much as everyone thinks that he did. I think he was more involved. He sacrificed
his offensive game.
I think he was more involved than Kevin. Kevin just always seemed like he was just kind of on the outside. Well, like he was part of that the trio in Miami. Bosh. He was really part of that.
Well, like
three.
Yeah. They were
Like,
all
when you
friends.
think of that
They were
Miami,
boys.
right?
Yeah, they all came in the league together.
When you think of that Miami squad, you think of all three of them.
Kevin Love was like forced on LeBron.
Yeah.
Kyrie was already there, so like they weren't a
exactly.
trio. Like Wade, Bosh, and Bron they were boys. They were homies. But I also think that Chris Bosh, even though he sacrificed offensively, he was such a key part to what they did on D that he still probably felt a lot more like it, right? Like Kevin Love probably feels like he has to give you 25 or 26 to feel like he's worth it on a team, whereas Bosh was really the first of those super versatile big man defenders. Like Chris Bosh back then playing right now would be like we'd be talking about him as one of the best defensive players in the NBA. He was a big man that could switch and play multiple positions, right? And versatile, step out and shoot and do all that stuff we want from a modern NBA.
He's ahead of his time.
He was way ahead of his time. We don't appreciate Chris Bosh, but I think when you look back, history will. So I think he still fell a part of it. Whereas Love is kind of an introverted guy, didn't want to be part of the whole show. Kyrie is obviously an extroverted guy, but he's kind of, whatever, out there a bit. Just never really was the same type of trio. So, I definitely agree with that. But I don't think Love's going to look back on his career and be like, man, I wish I would have never left Minnesota or playing with LeBron was a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you got
a chip.
You played on shitty teams and were the man. That's not fun. Yeah. It's not fun averaging 25 and 15 but winning 35 ball games. Did not make the playoffs one time in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Comes to Cleveland, goes to the NBA Finals 4 straight years.
It's different.
I'm taking Kevin Love's career over Melo.
Yeah. That's an interesting take. And speaking of that, really quick, if you knowing what you know right now today, would you take Klay Thomson or Ray Allen?
Klay Thomson.
Yeah?
Yes.
Hands down, not even a discussion.
Yeah, I mean, even if you take the shooting off the table, he's a freaking ridiculously good defender.
Yeah.
I think so.
Man, I don't know. I think he's in such a great situation that it's a little polarized.
Yeah.
But Ray Allen was that guy.
I think there's a lot of players where guys like Ray Allen and even I'm not gonna say Larry Bird because he did a lot more, but like Reggie Miller is a perfect example. Reggie Miller was great in his time and all that, but there have been better shooters to come in the league since Reggie Miller. There are better shooters playing right now, right? There are players I would take over Reggie Miller. He was just in an era where there weren't a ton of great shooters. Yeah, he was that guy.
Yeah, people didn't come off of screens and fade away like that.
So it's like he was known as this 3-point shooter, and it's like, and he carries that name for 20 years. But if you're going to tell me, hey, you can get Klay Thomson or Reggie Miller, that's not even a question. Reggie can have a seat. Even if you take the defense away, Reggie can have a seat. So Reggie or Ray Allen, I'm taking Reggie. I'm taking Klay. And I don't know if this is much of a no question.
Klay has some gaps where he disappears and you can't even see him on the floor.
Because he plays on that team, though.
Yeah, but I think if he was on another team, he's so polarized because he legit doesn't dribble the ball.
Yeah.
So to see him on the Hornets or some shit like that, could he do what Kemba's doing?
First off, Kemba is a legend.
No, well, that's the question.
He couldn't do that.
You feel me?
No, but I don't know if Ray Allen could either.
Have to do, right?
I don't know if Ray Allen could either. Ray Allen was on those good Sonics teams, but he had Rashard Lewis over there. And,
but he was doing that though. He handled the rock a ton on those teams.
I guess. Yeah, I mean Ray Allen. Yeah, Ray Allen did a lot more than shoot earlier on in his career for sure. But
I still am not sold that Klay
could be the number one.
If Klay switched with Kemba Walker. Could he be doing what Kemba does? I'd have to see it.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Kemba carries the load for his team every single night.
Every single night. And I don't know.
And has to do that, and with defenses keying in on him. And
I
was talking about this with my girl before I left today. I was like, Klay is literally in the best spot of any athlete. He's in the most no pressure.
He might be in the best situation on a team of all time.
So it's like this. You never lose because of Klay. You absolutely can win because of Klay.
He never
There's
gets
no
any
pressure,
flack.
no flack. If he's down shooting, whatever, he'll fix it. And then he has games like last night where he goes off for 10 straight, and they love him. His teammates love it when he gets hot. He's just a chill dude.
It's funny, man, because you know how fickle people get, and people that you know how people get.
Mm-hmm.
all we talk about is how good he can shoot it and how great of a defender he is. But if he had to go do what Kemba does on offense,
that's a good question.
And then they asked him to play D like he does, his D would start to fall because he's putting in so much work on the offense. They'd be like, he fell off on D. He doesn't play D like he used to. Yeah. And it's like, nah, bro. It's just like this is a different situation.
You're 100% right. I think if you took Klay Thompson and put him, that's a great point. If you put him on the Hornets,
Kemba Walker doesn't exist, and you replace him with Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
It's like.
But it's not an even swap. It's not like if you put Kemba on the Warriors, it would be the same type situation
100%.
Because, like,
But it's like every time down,
fit situation matters.
You're looking for Klay Thompson.
Fit and situation matters. Klay Thompson probably has a completely different career if he plays on a different team. You're 100% right. That's a great point.
It's interesting.
Fit and situation matters. We should talk about that one time on an episode. Like, what two guys who are great players in their own right, but if you swapped them, would probably have completely different results
careers,
on different teams.
Perceptions.
Because that Klay for Kimba is a great example of that. It really is, So I love Kemba Walker, but free Kemba or put some people around him.
Do something,
like in case he forgot. Go back, watch that UConn run. Kemba Walker is a dog,
legend, bro. Yeah,
competitor.
He's a competitor. Bucket.
Kemba Walker can be on my team any day of the week.
He's a New York ball player.
Hooper.
New York Hooper. Yeah,
he's here to get buckets. Legend.
Really quick before we get out of here, last couple things. Thoughts on Gasol and Connolly being on the block for the Grizz?
Yeah, they tried to, look
they can
good
go
in the
make an
beginning
impact
of the year.
Somewhere.
It looked good on the beginning. Oh, yeah, I think individually they're good players. I think the problem with Connolly is he's making like $38 million a year.
He's making like $70
Shout
million.
out Mike Conley's agent.
Connolly making like $72 million.
Well, he's a dog.
Like, I'm
he's
exaggerating.
Never made an All-Star game?
Nah.
Which is crazy.
He's never got a tech?
He's never got a tech.
In his career.
And he's a dog defensive player.
Mike Conley has no technical fouls on his record.
I love Mike Conley, man. Talk about, it's funny with Conley. Like, we talk about players and, you want to give up on, young guards and stuff like that. Like, remember, he was a high draft pick, and it took him a few years to figure it out and what kind of player he was going to be in the league. But once he did, he was a dog. I would take if it wasn't for the money, if I was a team and I could make that trade and the money didn't necessarily matter to me, I'd 100% bring Mike Conley.
That Ohio State
very good offensive player,
Conley
and he's a very good defensive player. And you need defensive point guards, especially in the Western Conference. And he has shown that he can play Steph.
Yeah.
The Grizzlies have played the Warriors tough always.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I would love that. And the same thing with Gasol. Gasol's a great two-way player, a good defender. He's getting a little bit old.
He can score, too.
But he can still score, and he'll still give you some quality minutes. So, yeah, I'd bring those guys in. Why not?
Yeah.
If you're the Grizzlies, make a deal.
The Mavs.
I loved those what's it called, grit and grind squads though.
Yeah, man.
Zebo
was a legend.
Zebo is a legendary bucket getter.
Another
Talk
legend.
about a bucket anywhere. He's somewhere getting a bucket right now.
Pure skill.
Lefty
basket.
bucket getter.
Crazy feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Zach Randolph.
Remember when they had Zebo and Eddie Curry on the same squad?
What a guy.
Two bucket getters.
Yeah.
Shout out Eddie Curry. Shout out Eddie Curry, man.
Shout out Jahlil Okafor too. He got like 20 and something.
Jahlil Okafor 20 years ago would be given 20 and 8 in the NBA nightly.
Let's get out of here on this. Mavericks banned a fan for chirping at Pat Beverly. Did you see this?
Yeah, I heard about it.
Okay. When is it too far for a fan? What's too far?
My man's pulled KD's hat off his head.
That's okay. That goes without saying.
Would have smacked.
I'm talking about verbal, but that's.
But you saw that, right? Like,
yeah.
I would have literally smacked. Shit like that is going too far. I don't know if you saw the video. KD's walking through a tunnel, high-fiving fans. Dude grabs the hat off his head.
He takes a baseball cap off of his
head. KD's head. And KD turns around and goes, "Don't ever do no shit like that again."
Yeah.
Like, don't ever do no shit like that again.
He should have.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah. He should have hit him with a spinning back fist.
Yeah, bro. That's what he do.
He should have turned around and just be like, I didn't know what was going on. I just defended myself.
Grab it. Yeah.
Like, you don't take nobody's hat off his head.
The trash talking going too far, I think.
When does it go too far?
If it becomes too personal.
What, meaning what?
I don't know, man.
You bring up somebody's wife?
Yeah.
And kids?
Yeah, and I think there's laws of human decency too. There's children at the game, there's stuff like that. So if you're chanting out all types of crazy shit, like, depending on what it is, or racial shit obviously should never happen.
Oh yeah.
So I think there needs to be just some decency. You can call somebody trash, you know what I mean? You can talk about maybe an incident here or there that they might have gotten into. But, I think if you're going too far when and if it's like constant to where it's like, bothering everybody else around the game too.
But what about the guy that's like, yo, man, I spent $650 on this third row seat.
Yeah.
And I'm going to yell at this dude all game if I want to.
Yeah.
Like.
What are you yelling?
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, if you want to yell all game, that's on you. But again, I also like be a decent human being. Understand that people next to you paid $650 to be there too.
There's an art to heckling.
There is an art to heckling.
There's an art to heckling, bro.
So the funniest heckling situation I've ever been in was we went to go see a White Sox versus Rangers game. I'm not even gonna name names, but I went with two of our friends.
Yeah.
And this is when Josh, what's his face, was playing. Who was the dude that used to
Josh
do all the
Hamilton?
drugs? Josh Hamilton.
Yeah.
Bro, they gave, first off, talk about chances. They give Josh Hamilton maybe 27 chances.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
yes.
so yeah, facts.
Yeah.
But I went with these two people and they were heckling Josh Hamilton about being a drug addict.
Right.
Which in the time was like hilarious, but I was also like 19 years old.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like looking back at it, I'm like, that was pretty fucked up.
Yeah,
but like,
that's tough.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So I mean, like, that's probably going too far, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I'm not soft, man. I hate also this like narrative of having to be correct about everything and like not being able to talk shit because you're worried about everybody else's feelings and all that shit. So like, I find myself on the border with a lot of shit like that.
I don't know the details of what the dude was saying to Beverly, but I know they banned him.
Yeah, I don't know.
It must have been something
He must
crazy.
have said something crazy.
But man,
banning somebody is one thing, but like you're telling someone to shut the fuck up, or security coming and being like, "Hey man, just calm down a little bit."
Bro,
like that's one thing. To get banned, yeah, you gotta do some crazy shit.
We used to heckle the shit out of a lot of people.
Yeah,
like in the bleachers.
Yeah.
One time we fired up Denard Span for easily in 2 hours.
Yeah,
we heckled Denard Span relentlessly for hours and hours. It was a White Sox Twins game. We yelled at Denard Span for hours. We were talking about I think he had just got a divorce. Like we were on his head. I don't know. Don't quote me on the divorce part, but we were all over Denard Span. So there's an art to it. It can get really not funny and like, yo, sit down, bro.
Yeah, calm down.
And there could be some real funny stuff in there. So
I think it's one of those things.
To it.
It's funny when you're doing it. When you're not doing it and you're watching it, like it's one of those things like funny for a couple minutes. Then you're finally like, yo, this dude needs to kind of sit down.
Yeah.
Unless it's someone who's
funny.
Unless it's someone who's like world class.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
it can be funny.
Like
when
when we did that to Josh Hamilton, the shit that was being said was hilarious. So like to me, I even look back right now, like it's hilarious because like they were giving it to him about it, but it's also like, damn, like us people in the stadium are probably looking at us like, yo, these people need to shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, yo, I just brought my kids to a White Sox game and he's hearing about falling off the wagon. You know what I mean? It's like, yo,
don't fall off the wagon.
Don't fall off the wagon, Josh. There's good crack in left field.
Yeah,
it was messed up.
That's
and he heard us 100% too.
100%.
They always hear you.
They always hear you.
They hear you in baseball.
No doubt.
Yeah, I've heckled. I think we heckled. I think Pat called Jim Leland Jimmy Two Packs when we were playing the Tigers one time. Hey, Jimmy Two Packs.
For sure, he smoked hella tons of cigarettes, right?
He looked like he smoked two packs of cigarettes.
That's funny.
That shit was really funny, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna leave it there. That's No Catch Up Chicago for this week. Super Bowl 53 coming up. We're gonna break all that down next week. I'm looking forward to that.
Pats.
Oh, I'm actually in Germany next week.
Yeah, that's right. How do you? That's right.
Yeah, I'm actually out of town next week, so we're gonna figure out someone to come in to lock it in and fill in. But yeah, man, we'll get it done. I'm finalizing this merch website like this week.
Mm-hmm.
Stay on the lookout for that. I'm excited to show you guys what I came up with and to get that stuff out in the public. So we'll keep rolling. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. 5-star review. If you ever given us a review, do that. I think we got like almost 50 of them now. Go in there, give us a review, drop the 5 stars if you're rocking with us.
Everybody tell 2 people.
If
you told 2 people you know to check out the podcast, that would be huge for us.
Yeah, man. That'd be greatly.
We try to get these credentials next year.
Yeah. Greatly appreciated. For Nick the Quick, man, I am Sean Little. No Catch Up Chicago, for Chicago, by Chicago. Listen up.